So let's get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my presentation on telecom customer churn analysis. In today's highly competitive market, retaining the customer is more important than ever. In this presentation, we will be discussing the challenges faced by the telecom companies and the strategies they can use to reduce the customer churn. So let's get started. My name is Shrini Abraham and I am a Power BI developer. Reason for choosing this project on telecom churn is because I work in a telecommunication company. But what really motivated me was that incident ticket where the customer was mad about the terrible customer service, being on hold forever, and not getting the resolution they were looking for. Does that ring a bell to you all? I'm sure it does. Because each one of us had a bad customer service experience one way or the other. Let me quickly walk you through the incident. This veteran couple were convinced to switch the provider by Jack when they visited the Costco for doing their regular grocery. He promised them to, to give them a huge discount if they get 2 lines. They agreed for that. Everything went well. They went home. However, when they get their first bill, it was much higher than expected. And the promised discount from Jack was never even applied. Despite the numerous attempts to rectify the situation, they were unable to afford that big, huge bill and they regret switching the provider. And now they are in the market looking for new provider. That made me think, what all are the reasons that make customer churn? So what is customer churn? Customer churn is when the customer or the client decides to end the relation with the company and leave the company, which will lead to the revenue loss, which in turn will decrease the business performance. There are two types of customer churn: voluntary customer churn and involuntary customer. Voluntary customer churn is when the customer decides to leave the company. It happens due to the bad customer service or due to the the network issue or because of the competitors. And the involuntary churn is when the customer, the circumstances happen, like the relocation or death, something like that. Now that we understand the importance of customer retention, let's focus on the key performance indicator and the data model I used in my project. I have used the mean table and I have created another table for the location so that we can see where all there is churn rate in the United States. I have also created some measures. The KPIs I used was total customer, churn rate, and churn revenue, just to determine the amount of revenue loss resulting the customer churn. Now that we talk about my KPIs and the data modeling, I can't wait to show you all my dashboard. Let me quickly stop sharing this. As you all can see, on the left-hand side are my KPIs. I have used multiple line stack column chart in my presentation, in my visualization. So I have demonstrated that fiber optic has 41%, more than 40% of contribution towards the churn. The fiber optic, and the second major contributor is the month-to-month contract. These two are the main contributors for the churn. Additionally, I have also created the churn as per the distribution by the age. So I have created a lot of age bin just to see how the churn is happening as per the age. And as you all can see, the churn rate is gradually increasing. I have also created the churn rate as per the tenure. I just want to show here that if the customer stays longer with the company, the chances of them getting churn is very low. And it's just like the marriage. If you are longer together, the chances of getting separated is less. So it's kind of the same thing. I have also utilized the chart, the decomposition tree chart, in order to show the top 3 competitors, top 3 churn reasons. As you can see, the number 1 is the competitor, the deals from competitor, better deals from competitor. Second is the attitude of the bad attitude of the customer service agent. Third one is the dissatisfaction. A map has been created here just to show where all the churn rate is in United States. As you can see, the big clutter is in the California because most of the data is from California. And the last chart which I created in my presentation is the similar looking key influencer chart. So I have considered the top two contributors, the fiber optic and month-to-month here, and also have included the third contributor, average of total service subscribers. We have discussed about the month-to-month. If the customer is in month-to-month contract, that means the customer is not have the contract for 1 or 2 years. That means they are just doing window shopping. They probably will leave. It's not like customer is going to stay. So the churn rate is very high there. And the second one is the fiber optic. Again, fiber optic is a big contributor for getting the customer churn, price high, not getting the promised services. It all impacts because of that. And the last one is the subscription. So x-axis is the subscription and the y-axis is my churn rate. As you can see, the less the subscription, the higher the churn rate. And the more the subscription, the less the churn rate. The graph is literally going downwards. So that means if the customer has 6 to 8 subscription with the company, they will probably not churn because they don't want to look for another company with 6 to 8 subscriptions. It's too much work. So they probably will not churn. So on the basis of these 3 criteria, I have created a key analysis on the risk factor. So what I suggest here is if the customer fall in all 3 criteria, that means they are in a high risk bucket. Those are the customers, they are more likely to churn. If they fall in the two criteria, that means they are in the medium bucket. They are in 50-50, they may churn or they may not churn. And if they are in the 1 criteria, that means those customers are in the low bucket, low risk bucket, they probably will not get churn. So those are my analysis. Now, as we discussed all the challenges we face, the company faces, let's talk about some of the strategies what we can do. Number 1, there are 3 strategies. Number 1 strategy for the contract, month-to-month contract, what I suggest is offering the incentive for longer commitments, such as reduced rate for yearly or quarterly contract can significantly reduce customer churn by up to 41%. That's a huge number. My second suggestion or strategy here is for the fiber optic. Examine the network performance and offer the fiber optic internet with unlimited data or give them the new device. Along with the customer survey, we give them the survey to identify the low satisfaction, why they are not happy with the fiber optic. And revising the plan accordingly can help retain the customer. And the third strategy is focusing on effective customer service. Show that empathy towards the customer, reassure that we are here for you, and offering them an exclusive deal can retain the customer and can save up to 40% of telecom customers from churn. And then positive review and survey from a satisfied customer can in the social media can also attract the new customers and help the company thrive. Remember, it costs 7 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain the old one. Now you must be thinking, hold on, Shani, what happened to that veteran couple? Did they switch the provider? Well, the answer is no. We not only give them the best customer service, but also we gave them the discount they was promised, and also the customer gave us the one thing which all company look forward for, which all company desire for, one good, positive 5-star survey, and we got that. Thank you for listening to me patiently for my presentation, and I really appreciate your valuable time.